For years, SEO was all about ranking on Google's first page. But in 2026, the game has changed. AI search engines are becoming the new gateway to information, and brands that understand AI visibility today will dominate tomorrow. Let's explore how to rank in AI answers.
Our AI SEO tools, how do they work under the hood? And I guess the big one, are they really going to replace human marketers?
Which is the question everyone's terrified of.
Oh, the anxiety around that last question is palpable across the entire industry.
Absolutely. And to get to the actual signal beneath all that noise, we're relying on a really detailed presentation and transcript from the digital growth experts at Dero Digital.
Right, because they are in the trenches with this technology every single day. They really know what they're talking about.
Okay, let's unpack this, because usually when we talk about establishing a presence, whether that's in business or media, there's an expectation of physical reality.
Yeah, it's like a brick and mortar thing.
Exactly. You build a storefront, you hang a wooden sign above the door, people walk down the street, and they discover you. You can literally see the foot traffic. It feels tangible.
Right, you can touch it.
But then you step into the world of search engine optimization, and suddenly that physical street just vanishes. You're looking at a landscape that is constantly shifting beneath your feet.
Yeah, and the goal for us today isn't just to, list off a bunch of software applications that help navigate that shifting street.
Nobody just wants a listicle.
Right. Our objective is to understand a fundamental structural change in how digital information is organized and ultimately how it's discovered by real people. I mean, the architecture of the internet is being replaced in real time.
It really is. But before we can properly dissect the high-tech architecture of today, we really need to examine the painful bottlenecks of the past.
Oh, man, the bottlenecks.
Yeah, the things that made these new AI tools an absolute necessity in the first place. Because SEO did not always look like this streamlined, automated machine we hear about today.
Not at all.
Yeah.
If you look back even a few short years, SEO was, it was a grueling war of attrition.
A total grind.
A massive grind. It required hours upon hours of intense manual labor. Imagine a marketer sitting down to plant like a quarter of content.
Right.
They were manually pulling thousands of keywords into these just massive, unwieldy spreadsheets.
Ugh, the spreadsheets. I remember hearing stories of marketers just staring at dual monitors until their eyes physically blurred.
Yeah, exactly. They were reading through 50 different competitor websites, page by agonizing page, just trying to reverse engineer why a specific article ranked highly.
Just trying to find a mathematical correlation between a keyword and a bounce rate by hand. It sounds completely unsustainable.
And they were writing these incredibly dense content briefs by hand, trying to construct massive topic clusters without any sort of dynamic map. And that is precisely the bottleneck Dero Digital identifies here.
So it's a problem of scale.
Huge problem of scale.
Yeah.
The core takeaway from their research is that the modern iteration of AI acts as an intelligent assistant to solve that specific bottleneck. It is not a blanket human replacement.
Okay, that's an important distinction.
Yeah, the true advantage we're talking about is just raw, unadulterated efficiency. AI accomplishes those weeks of spreadsheet analysis in like a matter of seconds.
Wow. You know, I always try to visualize these ships. Doing traditional SEO felt a bit like manually navigating a massive wooden ship across the ocean using just the stars and a compass.
That's a great way to put it.
Right, because it required intense, specialized skill, it was incredibly slow, and one bad calculation meant you were essentially lost at sea.
Yeah, bury on page 10 of the search results where nobody ever looks.
Exactly. And AI SEO introduces a state-of-the-art GPS system to the dashboard. The map is instantly rendered. But here is my pushback on the GPS analogy.
Okay, let's hear it.
If every single business and marketer suddenly has access to the exact same state-of-the-art navigation system, doesn't everyone just end up taking the exact same route?
That is the logical fear.
Yeah, like doesn't the internet just become a giant traffic jam of identical, perfectly optimized content?
So what's fascinating here is you would naturally assume a traffic jam is the inevitable outcome. But the data from Dero Digital reveals the opposite effect.
Really? How so?
Because the AI doesn't just find the single main highway. It identifies millions of micro-routes and back alleys that human marketers were completely blind to.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it discovers long-tail search intent. These are highly specific, low-volume queries where consumers are desperate for a solution, but nobody has bothered to write about it yet.
So it's finding the gaps.
Exactly. The AI spots the hidden gap in the market. But, and this is key, it still requires the human business owner to actually build the bridge to get there.
Okay, so now that we understand the raw efficiency driving marketers to adopt these tools, we need to peel back the layers and look at the underlying mechanics.
Yeah, let's get into the how.
How do they actually process this ocean of data so incredibly fast? Because to a casual observer, plugging a word into a prompt and getting a full market analysis back in 3 seconds just looks like magic.
Right, it feels like magic, but the technology is deeply rooted in statistical probability, not magic. Dero Digital breaks down the mechanics really clearly for us.
So what are we actually dealing with under the hood?
These modern tools rely on large language models, or LLMs, combined with machine learning algorithms that are specifically trained on search data analysis.
Okay.
And to achieve that 3-second output, they're continuously ingesting billions of data points.
Billions. That's hard to even conceptualize.
It really is. We are talking about the continuous scraping of search engine results pages, the historical analysis of billions of user queries, and the structural breakdown of every single competitor page that exists in a given niche.
Wait, I want to stop you right there because Dero Digital mentions that these AI tools deduce, quote, user intent.
Yeah, intent is everything.
But mechanically speaking, how does a machine actually do that? How does a cluster of servers know what a human being actually wants when they type a cryptic 3-word phrase into a search bar? That sounds a lot like mind reading.
It feels like mind reading, but it's actually behavioral pattern recognition at an unprecedented scale.
Okay, break that down for me.
Let's use an example directly from the source material. Imagine a business targeting the keyword phrase AI SEO services.
Right.
An LLM doesn't just look at the words themselves. It looks at the historical behavior of millions of humans who typed those exact words.
Oh, so it's tracking what they did after they searched.
Exactly. It analyzes the top 100 pages that currently rank for that phrase.
Yeah.
And it notices a statistical correlation.
Like what kind of correlation?
It notices that pages featuring a transparent pricing table keep users on the site 3 minutes longer than pages that just offer vague marketing speak.
Ah. So the machine correlates the word services with a statistical desire for a cost breakdown simply because human behavior rewarded the pages that provided the math.
Yes, the machine maps the behavioral outcome. Instantly, it pulls out the most frequently asked questions across the web, identifies mathematically related secondary keywords, and tells you what topics are completely missing from the conversation.
That's incredibly powerful.
It builds a complete blueprint of what human users actually value when discussing that topic.
Okay, that answers the mechanics of intent, but honestly, it surfaces a massive red flag for me.
What's the red flag?
If the AI is primarily scanning what is already published and ranking on the internet in order to tell you what you should write next, doesn't that inherently create a closed loop?
The echo chamber problem.
Exactly. A giant echo chamber where no one ever publishes a truly original thought again because the machine only recommends variations of the past.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, you have just described the exact trap that amateur marketers are falling into right now.
Okay, so Dero Digital addresses this.
They emphasize it heavily. The AI provides the baseline. It hands you the architectural blueprint of user expectations. But the original thought, the contrarian opinion, the unique case study, the actual lived experience that must come from the human.
Right, because otherwise it's just regurgitation.
Exactly. Relying solely on the AI's baseline simply adds another drop of water to an existing ocean.
You're basically saying the AI tells you what the current conversation is about, but it is entirely up to you to actually say something interesting at the dinner table.
That's a perfect analogy. The AI prevents you from talking to an empty room by ensuring you understand the topic, but your unique human perspective is the only thing that will keep the audience listening.
Okay, since these mechanics rely on processing massive amounts of data to provide that baseline, I want to pivot and look at the specific platforms putting this capability into our hands right now in 2026.
Yeah, let's get into the actual tools.
Because I don't just want a list of software. Let's put the listener in the driver's seat here. It is Monday morning. They are staring at a blank screen. They have a massive content campaign due on Friday.
We've all been there.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? Are you supposed to use all of these simultaneously, or do they function more like specialized puzzle pieces? Where do they actually begin their workflow with the tools Dero Digital outlined?
They definitely function like puzzle pieces, excelling at distinct phases of the workflow. And the workflow almost always begins with the blank page problem solver, which is ChatGPT.
Right, the classic.
In 2026, it is the ultimate brainstorming partner. Marketers use it for rapid content ideation. They feed it a broad topic, and it immediately generates a structural outline drafts the meta